Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. All right.
Well, 2 weeks ago we saw the Stars. They played a bit of a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde game in Auckland against the Titans. For the Titans, Prem Krishna, well, he top scored with 22. And the reigning champions, they just had too many weapons and held on for a 101-86 victory. Well, this week the crowd's starting to build here. It's semi-final time. We're back in Awamutu where the digital mobile Waikato Titans take on the blockbuster Auckland Stars. Hello and welcome to the home of hoops, only on 2 Sport. Well, we're down to 4 teams. Joined sideline with my mate, former Tall Black Brendan Pongia. Brendan, straight up, can the Stars do it?
Playoff time, baby. Playoff time, man. I tell you what, the Stars, it's a one-off game. Auckland, I mean, I reckon they can do it. I really do. I mean, Waikato, they've been here before. They've got all the players. They've done it before. But I think Auckland secretly are going to come out and win today.
Well, I reckon they're going to have to play pretty damn good because the Titans, well, they're just loaded with championship players, championship experience. Now, that's got to account for a lot, surely.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they've all been there. I think Dylan's been to 7 finals and won 7. Same with Prem. But you know what it's like, Chris. One-off basketball, one-off game. You never know what could happen. If Auckland can get into Waikato defensively, game over, baby.
Well, don't go anywhere. This is going to be a great game. That guy's back on the sideline calling the game. What's happening, Bob?
Well, the starting lineup for the Titans this afternoon, Jeff Green could pick any 5 of 12 players, but today he's going with Inosa, Glenn Joe, Krishna, Boucher, and Hope. Boy, what a great starting lineup that is. But when you look at the bench, we got players like Connell, Smith, Lepeau to come in. And who wouldn't like to sub Pero Cameron into the game? He's got to be the 6th best 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th player in the league. Pero Cameron.
Yeah, semi-final basketball is probably the most important game out of the whole final series. You know, you've got to try and get yourself to the big dance, as it were, and you know, you don't want to lose. And because, like, you know, I remember the last time that I had a team in the semi-finals that was as hot a favourite as we are right now, and we got beaten by 22. And it was a team that you were into, the Canterbury Rams, back in '92. So, you know, I don't want to repeat performance of that. So, absolutely important, and you know, that's where the edge is, and that's where everyone's a bit more tense. Once you get to the big dance, well, you know, it's a lot more relaxing.
The starting lineup for the Stars at the big dance, as Jeff Green says: Lindsay Tate, Aaron Olsen, 2 of the best 3-point shooters in the league. And a surprise, Daryl Cartwright, who's been out the last couple of weeks with a back injury, is going to be starting. And the beast, Mike Homick at 1 forward, and Casey Frank, the center forward, rounds out the starting lineup. Here's where the problems occur. Reese Cassidy and Will Green will contribute from the bench, but after that, there's not too many options.
We really have to learn from our mistakes in that game a couple weeks ago, and I think we have. We need to rebound a lot better than we did. We need to control the tempo more than we did, and I'm confident that we'll do that. And, you know, I'm extremely confident. People are going to see something special tonight from the Stars. There's no doubt about it.
Well, special they're going to have to play because the Titans, hometown favourites, they're going to be pretty hard to beat in this home court. Now, Brendan, the front court for the Auckland Stars, Lindsay Tate, he was on fire against the Titans a couple of weeks ago. Aaron Olsen, Tall Black, those guys have got to play big games tonight.
Oh, definitely, but I think Waikato are going to come out and take put a lot of pressure on Lindsay Tate because he did score 31 points against them in the last game. Aaron Olsen, he's got to get in the game early. I think if that front line can fire up, they'll cause a lot of problems for the Titans defense.
And of course for the Titans, Nat Connell and Prem Krishna, they're 2 to watch out for. Now Bob Montai's got a couple of key players to watch out for today. Bob?
Pero Cameron, known as PC, the gold standard of New Zealand basketball, probably the most respected player in the league, made the all-tournament team at the 2002 World Champs. His statistics belie his importance to the Titans. This man is a true leader, and he knows there's only one more chance to get to the finals.
I think playoff ball to me is, you only got one chance, and you make it or break it, really. You got to deal with all sorts of interruptions, and you've got a week to prepare for that only opportunity. And the opportunity counts, because if you lose, you're out. If you win, you go through to the to the big one, to the big dance. And success is always looked back upon, but you never look back at your failures as much. Maybe as an individual, but amongst people and friends, it's the wins that count.
Well, a key factor in the Stars equation this afternoon is 25-year-old American player Casey Frank, a member of the New Zealand Breakers squad. He's a power forward, and his stats tell a lot. 15 points a game average, and he's third in the league in rebounding. He says who dictates play wins the game this afternoon.
Well, I think we're going to have to control the tempo a little better than we did last time. We got into a running game, and we really were prepared for that. And I think especially we're going to have to control the boards and keep Dylan especially off the boards. If we could do that, I think we have a really good shot to get the W.
Well, don't go anywhere. Stay locked onto the home of hoops. It's 2 Sport. It's the first semi-final of this year's Burger King League. Next up, the Stars take on the hometown favourites, the Titans.
It might be cold and miserable outside.
I'll be gone an hour at the very most.
But it's a great excuse to stay in, stay warm, and if you can get inside, that is.
You can run, but you can't hide.
Classic stay-at-home comedy to help chase away the winter blues. Home Alone 3.
Freeze! Gotcha!
Tonight's Tailgate Saturday feature. TV2.
I took a vow of poverty.
In the Burger King League, the basketball league, the Titans finished on top with a 16-2 record, and they beat the Stars twice, who finished with a 12-6 record. And if you check the report card of both teams, you'd have to say, Chris Tupu, that it looks all Titans this afternoon.
Well, Bob, I'm looking forward to this game as much as you are. I love semi-final basketball. To me, this is the key game, in any kind of playoff situation. Like Jeff Green said before the game, once you get through to that final, it doesn't, a little bit of pressure comes off. Head-to-head, I've got to say the Titans, May the 3rd, they beat the Stars 94-84. 2 weeks ago, we saw them beat them 101-86.
Well, you're right. If we go down, we'll have a look there at the Titans bench. You see them just warming up, getting ready to go on the court. But if we just check the Titans, they've beaten the Stars 4 times this year. They've got better bench options, but the Stars can match, I think, the Titans in outside shooting. And they can also match them rebounding. But what they cannot do, Chris Tupu, is get in early foul trouble, because there's probably only 2 players who can really deliver the goods from the bench, Will Green and Reese Cassidy.
Yeah, that's one big factor, is foul trouble. The other is the tempo of the game. Now, we saw that game a couple of weeks when Auckland got into a running game with the Titans. That's a no-no, I reckon. For part of the game, maybe for 1 or 2 quarters, they might be able to hang with them. But in the bigger context of the whole game, the Titans have the advantage in the running game.
Well, I think you're right. But basketball, and this is why we love the game, is full of surprises, and there are 2 surprises this afternoon. Jeff Green told me earlier, and indeed I see it's true, Ricky Struther has suited up for the Titans. It's good to see him back. He wants another chance, another shot at goal. And Daryl Cartwright is going to be starting for the Stars. He's been laid low with a bad back the last couple of weeks. I wonder, I do wonder how long he might be able to survive in this game. I hope he can go at least 3 quarters or so, Chris.
Yeah, they're going to really need him. But we saw Reese Cassidy last week. He put up 26 points against the North Harbour Heat. He's another young player that they may be able to just get him to step up. And sometimes in playoff basketball, somebody will put their hand up and say, hey, when it gets to the crunch time, I'm going to come through with the goods. We might see that tonight, Bob. I don't know.
Well, that's a possibility. So you don't have too much time left to place your bets. The Titans going against the Stars. Referees this afternoon, 3 of the premier refs in the league, Stan Baddock, Gavin Few, and Jamie Hickey, will be controlling the game. We've got a great crowd here at the ASB Stadium in Awamutu. It's a great place to play a semifinal basketball game, the first of 2 tomorrow afternoon will be the St. Lawrence Saints going against the Manawatu Jets from Walter Nash Stadium. But all attention now is focused on the game right here, right now. The Titans playing the Stars, and I think this is the 5th time they've met this year, Chris, and the Titans have won all 4 games. That's got to be a real psychological hurdle from the Stars to vault over.
Well, that's huge, especially when you come to semi-final time. I looked through the lineup and talked to Jeff Green before the game. There are only 2 players in the Titans team that do not have a championship. Glenn Joe and Puki Lendon. Everybody else in that team, and that includes Inosa, Yone Inosa, who played with Auckland and got a title there with Tab Baldwin. So a wealth of playoff experience, and you know, really that's going to count for them, I think, down the stretch.
Well, okay, we're going to have to lighten things up here. We're really talking the Stars into a big, big hole. But remember, the starting lineups on the court now, I think, match up very, very well. The Stars have good rebounding power, and they got 2 of the best 3-point shooters in the game, and Aaron Olson and Lindsay Tate. It's what happens after one of these starting players for the Stars gets subbed off. Here we go, the first of 2 semifinal matches to be played this weekend. Offensive foul goes against Daryl Cartwright, and immediately Kenny Stone is off the bench. The coach of the Stars, he was not happy with that call, Chris.
Well, it happened right in front of his bench, and well, Dylan Boucher, he's Mr. Hustle. He's going to try and get a hand to everything, and he normally comes up with 3 or 4 steals a game, so just frustrating Daryl Cartwright there early on.
Well, Boucher's got hands like meat tenderizers. They pound away at the opposition, and occasionally he gets a foul put up against him. Glenn Joe takes it inside, knocks it back out to Hopepoy. Doesn't go down. He knows a big rebound.
Remember back to that game a couple of weeks, Yona Inosa was huge in the first couple of quarters, so they're going to have to watch out for him being strong on the boards here.
Well, Mike Homick, who got 3 quick fouls in the first period last time they played, has got a big job trying to stop him. Hopepoy, a little reverse layup.
Lovely move from the left-handed forward guard to start the scoring for the Titans.
Aaron Olson muscles it inside. 2 players go down. He's amongst them. He gets the 2 points. It's 2-all.
Aaron Olson, tall black. He'll be going to Turkey in a little while. He opens the scoring for the Stars. He's a key player for them, Bob. He's got to play a big game.
Well, he does indeed, and some good refereeing coming from Stan Baddock. As soon as he blew his whistle, he was very loud, very clear, very detailed in the call he was making. No one gave him a second glance, which means they accepted the call. One of the premier referees in the league, Stan Baddock. Tate has to throw it out. Good defense, of course, will be played all game long by the Titans. They'll punish you. Well, Tate from a long way out.
Downtown, he hits his first shot. That's the other guy they got to watch. Their front court is very good. Lindsay Tate and Aaron Olson for the Stars. I mean, they are 2 pretty key players. He goes upstairs. Right from one side, a dunk from the other.
Light it up, David Hopepoy. He just went around Casey Frank like he was standing still.
Oh, boy.
Hardly threw a fake. He just put the ball to the floor and he was gone.
Stars 5-4, early lead here.
Tate has to get the ball, and he's got 5 seconds. He just makes it. Frank had to come way high to relieve pressure there. Inside it goes. Homick bounces the ball, goes in against Hopepoy. Oh, and look at Casey Frank.
2 great dunks there. Casey Frank just getting in line. Nice tip dunk, follows a shot and slams it home.
So athletic, a high-altitude game from Casey Frank. He just picked that ball off the ring and slammed it through.
Fantastic play from the big fella.
Stars 7, Titans 4. Great start for the Stars. Tate from a long way again. This time it doesn't go down. Good rebound to Prem Krishna, and immediately the transition game into force here for the Titans. They want to run with it. Inosa, haven't seen him shoot too many from out there, but it looked a pretty good shot. Had a good look, put up a 3, didn't go down. Casey Frank, and look at the follow-in from Daryl Cartwright. Nothing wrong with that boy's back.
Yeah, no, the Stars been very aggressive, controlling the tempo. They don't want to get into a running game, and they lead 9-4. 7 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Well, we've got a riveted crowd here, capacity crowd at Awamutu watching the first of 2 semi-final matches. Nice feed from Dylan Boucher. That's the definition of an assist.
Yeah, some great plays, Bob, both ends of the court. We've seen Hopai, Frank, then Yone Nosa coming up with another dunk. So 3 dunks already in this first quarter.
Well, we've had 15 weeks of appetizer to get to this point. And we're just about ready for the main course, but first 2 semi-final matches.
Glenn Joe just tying up, I think. Lindsay Tate there will have a jump ball at mid-court here. Glenn Joe, obviously, he played in Auckland last year and has come down to the Waikato this season.
Well, a little body contact between the two jumping for the ball. There was no call. Olsen misses the 3, and Enosa gets the first of what's going to be a dozen or so rebounds.
2 shots coming in here. Nat Connell and Perry Cameron have walked themselves to the substitution bench. So
nice feed. Great little feed from Aaron Olsen, and Casey Frank once again polishes it off.
And he is looking sharp, Bob.
He is indeed. Very athletic player. David Hopoy. Nice shooting from him. We've got nothing but scintillating basketball here, Chris. Great stuff.
That's 3 for 3, I think I've got Hopoy. And Frank, well, he's probably got 2 for 2, I think. As we see Olsen drive a lane, get a bit of a block there from Yone Nosa, and Hopoy's off to the races.
Hopoy protects the ball well. Good pass underneath. Another assist from Dylan Boucher. Can't that man pass.
Great assist there.
You put in your order and he dishes it up.
Yeah, Joe happily returns a favour and finishes that one off. Titans now with a 1-point lead, 12-11.
Into the corner, Casey Frank has the ball knocked out of bounds by Dylan Boucher. 2 subs about ready to come in, but they can't. They're Titan subs, so the Stars control the inbounds pass. Good pass inside, and Aaron Olsen.
Nifty little move there under the basket. Didn't have a lot of room, Aaron Olsen. Finishes it off nicely, though, as we see Krishna. Oh, that's an ominous sign. He hits his first bomb of the game.
Look, we got a good look at that one. We were just behind him as he launched that 3-point bomb.
Great
form. As soon as it left his hand, we knew it was in. Great
form. Anyone watching at home wants to learn how to shoot. He's one of the best in the business, Prem Krishna.
Indeed, and now we're seeing a little passing exhibition from Casey Frank as Daryl Cartwright finishes it off. 15 all. Great start here to the first of 2 semifinal matches. Enosa. Well, that's good defense. Why go up and hit him when he's going to get an obvious 2? Lindsay Tate held off.
Okay, Bob, check this out. The Titans are 8 for 10 from the field. And, well, the Stars, they're right behind them, 7 of 12. Some pretty hot shooting early on in this first quarter.
Well, good shooting, and the Stars just give up the ball. A turnover, and Glenn Joe punishes them. Not once, not twice, but 3 points worth.
Yeah.
So the first timeout is taken by the Stars. Scores 15-20 Titans.
Here's Glenn Joe just pulling up on a dime. Nothing but net.
Okay, viewers, you have a chance to win through the Burger King text competition, so listen up.
Burger King is giving you the opportunity to win this fantastic basketball pack, including a molten basketball, a BK sipper, BK vouchers, and an official Tall Blacks shirt. To enter the draw, simply answer the following question. How many players take the court for each team? To enter the draw, text your answer, either A, B, or C, to 882 on your mobile. Texts cost 50 cents.
Behind the ball, then the defense can grow out. Okay? Other than that, keep going. All our scoring at the moment is inside, drive, inside, one jumper. Other than that, good job, Dave. Yeah. Good job, Dave. Good job.
Well, Chris Tupu, the Stars have a job cut out for them. You saw the shooting percentage there, as you mentioned earlier. 88% for the Titans here. 7 of 8 of their first shots have gone in, and they're 2 for 3 from the 3-point land. And they better cool off if the Stars are going to have any chance of staying with them. It's a 20-15 lead to the Titans with 4 minutes, just over 4 minutes to play in the first period.
And checked into the game for the first time in a while is Ricky Struthers, who's returned.
Homick misses a little sitter, but gets his own rebound and finishes it off. So it's a 3-point lead now, Titans. Ricky Struther, here he is, the old veteran into the game. Jeff Green's surprise. He's always got a surprise up his sleeve come semi-final time, Chris. Well, he's a seasoned campaigner as Ricky Struther. And I know the guys are all happy to have him back on the court there. As we see Pero Cameron just short on the 3 there. Nat Connell stays with it. Look at Connell. He's 6 foot tall, 1.83 meters, and gets his own rebound. Very athletic, young player. Drives inside, little spin dribble, kicks it out. Krishna hops back to the 3-point line and doesn't make it. Some good defense there from the Stars that time. Able to pressure the guards outside on the kick out. It's always a good way to get a 3-point shot, is if you go inside and then get the ball kicked back outside. Well, I think, speaking of defense, the Stars can't afford to give up 90 points and expect to win this ball game, so they're going to have to play tough defense 40 full minutes. Whereas the Titans can often give up 90 points and count on scoring 120 of their own. Yeah, they have, you know, a number of options for scoring. They don't really, like you say, Bob, rely on any 1 or 2 players to score. It's just a matter of everybody doing their little bit. And, hey, sometimes it might be somebody that steps up for a game and someone else for another game. So it's a real luxury for Jeff Green. Well, let's go down to Brendan Pongio. He's got a few comments from the sideline.
Yeah, we're with Phil Jones, one of the tallbacks. Jonesy, I mean, pretty close game out there. You've played against both of these teams. Tell us, I mean, who do you think's going to win today?
I have to say probably Waikato's got the edge. You know, more experience, pretty deep bench. Auckland's a young team, but they seem to be playing pretty well, so it'll be an interesting game.
Probably pretty unusual for you at this time of the year, not being in the playoffs. How many years since you've been in the playoffs?
Probably be about 4 or 5, I would say. So it's pretty unusual to sit here on the sideline watching.
So what are you doing now in between now and obviously the Breakers season?
Yeah, getting prepared for the Breakers. I'm trying to have a little bit of time off when I can, and also the Tall Blacks. So it's still pretty busy.
All right, so enjoy the game, mate. Cheers.
Well, it's good to hear and see Phil Jones, current Tall Black, here at the game, and the action here is fast and furious. The Stars on a fast break, 3-on-2. Tate floats inside, and he's hammered by Mason Lepeau, number 13. Oh, big action, both ends of the court there. Nat Connell just took the ball into the basket. Don't know whether we'll get another look at that, but he got absolutely hammered from this point of view. And the other end, well, Lindsay Tate just rolled it in there, and he got fouled as well. Tate, nice little stutter dribble, and he tries to cut between the two players, but as he goes in, Lepeau gets a piece of him. That's not a bad foul because it immediately puts the pressure back on young Lindsay Tate. He's got to make the 2 free throws one at a time with everybody, the hometown crowd, in fact, yelling at him. He makes 1 of 2. 21-18, Titans, 2:33 left in the first period. Connell manages to almost save it, goes off of Ricky Struther's foot. You don't see that very often. A little indecision, a little miscommunication from the Titans. And right away, they're in their half-court zone trap defense again. Whoop, called that one wrong as they just peel back as Lindsay Tate brings it over halfway. Yeah, they know that Lindsay's a danger man, so Nat Connell's going to have to really do a job on him and that guy there as well. So you see Cartwright put up a little 3-footer. Chris, I've got to say a couple of words about Aaron Olson. He's dedicated his entire self to this game. His body is on the line. He's throwing everything into this game. This is a man possessed. He'd love to win this semifinal match. Oh, Ricky Struthers, trademark, off the glass, banker. He loves that shot, Ricky. I've seen him do that a number of times over the years. And I know Jeff Green will be happy to have him out there today. Well, you got a player 2.04 or 5 meters tall, and he can play anything from guard, forward to center. Connell on the break tries to go around Tate. Good defense by Lindsay Tate, but Boucher gets the offensive board, and Perro's got the 3. Well, that guy, yes, don't leave him open. Threw a little bit of a shimmy at the top of the key there and looked one way and then
drained a three-pointer, as we know he can do.
He couldn't believe it, Chris. He was all alone. He was waiting to get bumped, pushed, knocked, but nothing came. And once again, Aaron Olsen throws caution to the winds and gets 2 points.
Olsen is just, he is cooking right now. He's got about 3 or 4 drives to the basket in traffic, Bob.
Showing complete disregard for his body and safety. Hey, Nat Connell lights it up. The shooting is fantastic.
Well, you know, that's the other thing about this Titans team. I've got to say, Bob, that they just have a number of players that can shoot the three. You know, not just 1 or 2. I'm talking about 6 or 7.
Well, that's right. And it doesn't matter the size of them. Everybody, even Enosa's put one up early in the game here. Time ticking away here, down to 20 seconds. 29-22 lead. And Connell.
Back-to-back trace for Nat Connell.
Well, that's scoring in bunches. And the Stars in trouble. 32-22. It's a 10-point spread. 4 seconds. Tate has the ball behind the back dribble in the lane. Off the glass. And look at the follow-in by Will Green, number 15, to finish the first period. The Titans lead the Stars by 8, 32-24. By that 32-24 lead, but you have to really give the Titans credit. Everybody who's taken the court has contributed, and they're shooting at a sizzling 65% overall. That's fantastic.
That's great. And you know what, Bob? Auckland, they're right behind them, 63%. So both teams shooting the ball very well early on. And Nat Connell, we just see his athletic ability in there, posting up. He had a couple of players on him, able to score that basket in traffic.
Well, here's one of the things about Nat Connell that I've noticed over the past couple of years, Chris. He scores either layups or from long-range land out around the three-point line. He's very quick on the dribble. He gets underneath, and for a little player, 1.83 meters tall, he elevates pretty well, and he's got very good control of the basketball underneath.
Yeah, great pass there from Pero Cameron, finding Yoni Nossa open down under the basket, and that's where they want them to get the ball and shoot from 2 feet from the hoop. They'll be happy with that one.
Okay, teams have traded baskets here to start the second period. Early in the second period, 36-24. Olsen's shot is knocked out of bounds. Big block.
Yoni Nossa, the big fella in the middle for the Titans, throws that back to the fire exit there. See Olsen driving the lane. Oh, there it is. A bit like a volleyball spike, but Olsen, he has, to his credit, made a couple of those plays early, and he's not afraid to keep going there.
No, I don't think he'll be too worried. He went inside. He saw the glowering countenance of Enosa, had his shot blocked, but he'll be back. Very athletic play from the big man. Tallest player on the floor.
Played his college basketball at BYU, Hawaii, alongside Earl Smith, and now resides in Utah when he's not playing professional basketball. That's Yoni Nossa.
BYU is known as Brigham Young University. So Connell brings the ball over halfway for the Titans. Green and Cassidy into the lineup for the Stars. Connell into the lane, gives it up to Enosa. Nice little move. The big guy's quick as well.
Yeah, like you said, Bob, he is very athletic. Going around Will Green there, the young fella for the Auckland team. And he's not so slow either himself. He's pretty quick.
Well, Kenny Stone, the coach of the Stars, has a real puzzle here. How can he put the Titans off their game? And it's very, very hard to target 6 or even 7 players on the Titans team, because all 12 of them contribute hugely when they get the ball game. Tate, nice little pass. Aaron Olsen finishes it off. That's one way. Get the ball, quick transition, and a fast break.
Yeah, I guess for the Stars, it's really important if they do get those breaks, that they get a break, they score it, and then they quickly get back, because they do not want to get into a running game with these guys.
Nat Connell almost got his hands on that rebound. It shows you the value of the little guard. Homick playing out around the three-point line. He's a big body that's got to post up low and get the ball down near the basket. He could cause a bit of trouble for the Titans, but he's got to post up low, Chris.
Yeah, we saw a really nice pass there from Cassidy. He found an open Will Green. And good play from the young fella.
Two new players into the game for the Titans. Krishna, who started the game, and Glenn Joe also started, comes in, replacing Lepeau. Pero Cameron. And Nat Connell comes out. Dylan Boucher replaces him. On the free throw line, number 15, Will Green, shooting the first of two. Titans 38, Stars 26, 7:29 left in the first half. Free throw shooting not particularly scintillating here the first half from the Stars. Chris, they can't afford to shoot anything less than about 80% from the charity stripe, I think.
Well, it's got to be just that, Bob, a charity stripe. You get there, you got to make them. Semi-final basketball, finals, you got to make your free throws. Simple as that. Now, it looks like the Stars have gone to a zone defense here where they mark an area rather than a man. And Olsen picks up a steal, lays it in there. Nice work from Olsen.
That's good defense from the Stars in a foot race, and Olsen wins. Brings it back to within 10 points.
He leads all scores now, Bob. He's got 10 points.
Well, that's off sheer motivation, guts, and hustle. This guy has wound himself up, and he's come ready to play, and he's going to get a spell, a couple of minutes, and he'll be back in. He and Will Green, been replaced by Cartwright and Reese Cassidy.
10-point ball game as we see Krishna launch from the corner. Can't hit that one.
Now, the Stars look better when they can actually slow the Titans down a bit and make them throw the ball around. 2, 3, 4 passes. They like to, their confidence team, they like to put up the shot after 1 or 2 passes. And I think if the Stars can slow their offense down, Chris, they might stand a better chance.
Yeah, and probably for the Titans, well, they just want to do the opposite. They just want to pick the pace up.
Well, they're used to scoring. They're the only team that's averaged over 90 points a game offensively. There's a 16-point differential between what they've scored on average and what they've given up per game. So they're a team that doesn't like to wait around much. They don't like waiting for the bus.
Another nice little nifty pass from Boucher. I think he hit Joe earlier on the first quarter, so Joe picks up another one, thankfully. Thanks very much, Dylan.
Boucher's such a class player. That's about his 3rd or 4th assist. Casey Frank, off balance, has to kick it out to Homick. Cassidy muscles his way through, gets the 2 points. Now the ball, as it came through the basket, you hear the referee talking with Dylan Boucher about, I didn't see who kicked it. Once the ball goes through the net, it's supposed to be left alone. No players to touch it, no defensive player.
Well, the big thing about that call, and that's why Dylan was probably so angry, and also Jeff Green, is because that's the start of their fast break. And if players interfere with the ball, as we see, he's not going to miss 3 in a row. Prem Krishna nails another 3-pointer.
Wasn't that great body control? Glenn Joe took it inside. He was double-teamed. He managed to get a good snappy pass out to Krishna, who had plenty of time to line up his 3-pointer.
Bob, just getting back to that, when the basket scored for the Auckland team and the players just try to knock the ball or hit it, basically that just slows down the Titans' fast break, and they don't want that, and they've tried to talk to the referees about making sure players don't deliberately try and do that.
Well, that's right. That's called, what we call, the euphemism for that is a professional foul, and the referee's onto it. Players won't be able to do it very often before they'll be technical fouled and then sent off if they persist with it. Homick gets a good pass. He just couldn't nail a 2-pointer. The Titans, once again, quick transition, but Krishna just loses control of it. Ball had a mind of its own.
Yeah, he knew what, I know that move. A little in and out, jiggy move that he does, and just lost the handle, as they say in basketball.
One too many fakes. The ball couldn't keep up with him. 13-point lead, 5 minutes just over to play in the first half. The Stars struggling to figure out what to do for 40 minutes of basketball against the Titans.
Holy
Casey
cow.
Frank went high to get that pass and kept it in bounds.
I was going to say, Bob, did you see how high he got up for that?
I don't know, we ought to put a helmet on this guy. If he's near the ring and jumps that high, he could injure himself, Chris.
Yeah, well, there isn't any sponge around the bottom of that backboard, but his head was definitely up there.
Amazing elevation from this guy. Tate, little fake, goes to the hoop, and Boucher reaches in to get the ball, but in the meantime, Glenn Joe was called for a body foul. Just to check again, the 3 referees today, Stan Baddock, Gavin Few, and Jamie Hickey, controlling this first of 2 semifinal matches.
Boucher almost came away with a steal there.
Stars inbound the ball. They've got 5 seconds to get it inbounds. 4.5 by my count, and it goes out to Cassidy.
13-point lead for the Titans.
Olsen, working very hard, has been since the start of the game, puts up a 3. Just a little far, didn't make it, but that offensive rebound resets the shot clock at 24 seconds. Homick has the ball, taken away by Peril Cameron. And the foul's going to be on number 10. Cameron came around, made the steal, and was called for putting an elbow into Homick afterwards.
We'll just have a look here on the replay. I mean, he caught it. I don't know where the foul was there, and I don't know. What do you think, Bob?
Well, it looked to me like he actually tried to hold Homick up so he didn't knock him to the floor, and maybe that's the contact that he was called for.
Yeah,
but,
it was after the ball was knocked loose, though, so... However, Stars ball from the sideline here. Homick and Cameron just having a nice battle there. Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but Homick made the mistake of pulling Cameron down on top of him. That would have taken a little breath out of his lungs. Olsen from the free throw line. What a block by Krishna. Earl Smith gives it to Joe. No fast break on, so he pulls up. The Titans showing a bit of control here. Glenn Joe, nice control, and he gets the 2 points.
Now, that is a point guard down there, Bob. It's a point guard. Glenn Joe has got 3 putbacks from 2 feet.
That's a guard making a point. 2 points, in fact.
Joe having a good game here.
15-point spread. The cushion grows a little bit larger for the Titans. Stars really struggling to solve this equation.
Oh, Smith with some great D there on Casey Frank. Failed to box him out that time, though, and Cartwright.
The body's on the floor. It's like walking into the bowling alley. We got a 7-10 split there. Boucher goes down. On the line will be Daryl Cartwright.
There we see Frank just give a little scoop pass to Cartwright, and well, must have been a little hand on the arm there. Did he call that on Boucher, did he?
Yes, he did. Boucher probably too far into the basket, didn't have his feet stationary. So number 33, Daryl Cartwright, with 2 free throws as the crowd greet his first miss with an appreciative roar. Cartwright, 3 for 5. This is a man who hasn't played a whole lot because of a bad back. There's another factor the Stars are up against. You just saw a moment ago.
Yeah, he makes his second there. Stars now 2 of 6, 33% from the free throws. Now, folks at home, as a team, you want to be up around 75 to 80%. So the Stars, they're going to have to pick their free throw shooting up.
Well, they do. If they're going to win the ball game, they've got to make everything that's on offer. Krishna from the corner doesn't go down. Cassidy pulls down the rebound. Cartwright brings it over halfway. Casey Frank baseline, puts up a running one-hander. Wasn't that a beauty?
That was amazing body control and finger roll there to finish it off. Great work from Casey Frank.
Well, you can see why he's been selected in the Breakers squad. Remember, the New Zealand Breakers season starts the 1st of October. First time ever New Zealand's had a team in the Aussie National League.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things Jeff Green likes about Casey Frank is his work ethic. He's tireless. He just keeps at it, and he's got some good finesse moves around the basket, and you know, he plays some pretty solid defense.
And Homick went high to get a rebound for the Stars. Cartwright puts it up, knocks around on the ring, off the glass, and drops through. So that's the first 2 points. You go to the line and try to connect on the 3rd point.
Cartwright, coast to coast here, picks it up from just inside the 3-point line, protects the ball, puts a knee up there as he went through and made the basket, and will shoot 1. 9 points for Darryl Cartwright. That's pretty good.
The knee was for protection and for clearing away, and that was what we call a little drag shot or a scoop shot. Good control from the big man, but once again he fails to convert the free throw. 10-point spread here. Titans 45, Stars 35, just over 2 minutes. And another steal goes the Stars' way. They've got to keep it under 10 points, I think, at halftime, Chris, so this is a crucial possession for them.
Yeah, 2 minutes to go. The Stars are still right there. The Titans, they got up by as much as 15 in the second quarter.
Cartwright takes it inside, and he draws yet another foul. This time it's going to be number 3. Inosa, the big man, picks up a foul as Cartwright goes down bloody nose lane.
Lindsay Tate just checking back into the game. Here we see Cartwright again driving the lane.
Well, Inosa looked to be quite stationary. They probably called him for sticking a shoulder in his path. It's one of those judgments calls that the judgment that really matters is the man with the whistle. Oh, we've got our microphones, Chris, so we're outvoted 1-0.
Yeah, Cartwright hits his first. Double figures for him now. Cartwright and Olsen leading the scoring for the Stars with 10 each. For the Titans, Glenn Joe, the point guard, has 9. Connell 8, and Yona Inosa has 8 also.
Well, I think the zone defense is helping the Stars here. Ricky Strother, number 31, back in the game for the Titans. Connell gives it to Strother in the lane, and he spikes the ball out of bounds. He had a good look, little hook shot, just wouldn't go down, and he knocks the rebound out.
Yeah, it has worked pretty well for them so far. The zone defense in the last 5 minutes or so for the Stars.
Another good chance here, just couldn't convert it. The Stars back within 8 points, 1.5 minutes to play in the first half. Boucher underneath puts it up. What a great little shot. Protected the ball with his body. Off the glass, and in it goes, and it's another 10-point lead to the Stars. Steal, Boucher, foot race. And he misses the shot. The look of anguish on his face at the other end. Tate goes around 2 players on the glass, too hard. Now, this is the pace at which the Stars do not want to play the game. We got a charging foul. It's going to be against number 3, Inosa.
Gavin Few there making the call.
3 fouls on the big man, Chris. Inosa picks up number 3 in the first half here, and immediately he's going to be subbed off as Pero Cameron is off the bench. No, it's going to be David Hofoy coming in to give the big man a spell. They don't want 4 fouls on him. He's so valuable around the basket. He's a presence.
Bit of a worry, definitely, for the Titans there with him on 3 fouls. The Stars, nobody really in foul trouble. Just Olsen and Cartwright with a foul each, so pretty good going there for the Stars.
Now Tate is just letting the ball roll along because time doesn't start until somebody in bounds touches it. So he's just trying to save a second or 2 there. In the corner, Aaron Olsen kicking it around the outside of this Titan zone. Cross-court pass, 9 seconds on the shot clock. Good pass from Darryl Cartwright. And look at Casey Frank protect that ball. He double-pumped that ball before coming down. He was still going up.
Great drive again from Cartwright. We're seeing some moves from him off the dribble. There we see his nice little dish there, and Ricky Struthers just comes across and hits him across the head there, and Frank, who made that basket, he'll just get 1 shot from the free throw line. Cameron checking in for Boucher.
Man, when you're skydiving from that height, I guess you can do a number of things with the ball. In the air, he protected it so well, drew the foul, then made the 2 points, and now he's got to connect with a free throw. Here it comes, 47-39. It doesn't go down. 35 seconds to play. Titans by 8. Doesn't go down. Here's the Stars with a chance to cut into the lead. Tate wins the foot race, and Casey Frank gets the loose shot and puts it back up. It's a 6-point ball game, Chris.
He is quick. Tate and Frank, they're both quick.
Well, the way they've hurt the Titans so far is on the fast break, and the occasional steal. Aaron Olson almost came up with another one. 3 seconds. Titans inbounding the ball. That's enough to get a good look at the basket. 47-41. The Stars don't want to give up 2 points here. Strother.
He's got to shoot this.
Gets a good look, doesn't go down, and Connell goes up, almost gets his hand on the ball. So the first half ends with the Titans leading by 6, 47-41. But don't go away. You have another chance to win through the Burger King text competition. Listen.
Well, welcome back to a great first half of basketball. The Titans, well, they're slightly ahead, but the Stars, they're very much in this game. Brendan, what do you reckon?
Well, I think the Stars have played pretty good basketball. Aaron Olsen's had a good game. He's come out firing. Another guy that really impressed me, doesn't look like he's got a sore back today, is Daryl Cartwright. I think he's got 12 points.
And second half for you, Brendan. I mean, the Titans, they just seem like they got out to 15 points, then the Stars cut it back, but they have a wealth of players that can step on and just, they've got enough there.
Yeah, I thought exactly the same, Chris. I mean, they looked like they were going to blow out to 20 points, but Auckland are hanging around, man. If they're hanging around at the end of the game, it could be a close one. So it's going to be interesting in the second half.
And Kenny Stone, earlier in the game, he talked about tempo. The Stars, they seem to have controlled the tempo, and they've limited the fast break opportunities for the Titans.
Yeah, the Stars have. Waikato have tried to throw a press onto them. Didn't work. There was big holes in from behind. They were scoring easy baskets in behind, mate. I mean, if they continue to do it in the second half, I know I'm pumping Auckland up, but, who knows? At the end of the game, they might have a chance of winning.
Well, we'll see. The Titans, they're leading 47-41, but Bob has the numbers from the first half. Bob?
Thanks, Chris. Well, basketball is a game of numbers, and as you see there, top 3-point scorers. Cartwright 11, Olsen 10, Frank 10. One factor in the Stars equation is Lindsay Tate has only 4 points. Joe 9, Connell 8, Inosa 8. Good scoring spread for the Titans once again. And if we look at the assists, Aaron Olsen with 2 leading the Stars, but Boucher, the do-everything man for the Titans, has 4, the game's leader at this stage. And rebounding, this is one of the big factors. The Titans out-rebounding as a team, 23-17 the Stars. Casey Frank, though, has really been Mr. Energetic for the Stars, but he knows the big man. And another factor here, he leads with 6 rebounds, but he got 3 fouls.
Well, we're in for a great second half. Stay locked onto the home of hoops, 2 Sport, semi-final. It's do or die time. Next, only on 2 Sport, the second half.
Last night. Here's what the Stars had to put up with in the first half. A barrage of 3-pointers. 18 of their 47 points came off 3-pointers. 6 of 14. That's great shooting. And it makes it very, very difficult to defend. Krishna, everybody featured in the act. And Chris Tupou, I think what the Stars are going to have to do in the second half here is mix the defenses. They were good when they went to a zone for a couple of moments, and then they'd switch back to man-to-man. And when they get the opportunity, transition basketball is going to come into a play instantly. They've got a fast break.
Yeah, they've done a pretty good job of controlling the tempo, like you said, Bob, and also taking their opportunities and making them count. People like Olsen, Cartwright, and Tate have really converted those turnovers. And, the Titans have a few turnovers. If you have a look, I think they got about double figures at least. 13 turnovers for the Titans, so that's pretty crucial for them. The Stars are only sitting on 8 turnovers.
Well, that's good. That's tribute to the Stars defense. And can you tell me, some of the Titans players are wearing black armbands. Do you know what that's all about?
Yeah, Parlene Hawia had a grandparent pass away in Hawke's Bay, so sorry to hear about that, Parlene, and best wishes to his extended family back there in Hawke's Bay. And the guys are just wearing a black bit attached to their singlet, so that's why they're wearing that.
Indeed. Start of the second half underway here at the ASP Stadium in Awamutu. Tate called for steps. Come on, Lindsay, you got to bounce the ball before you move those feet. There was a movie not long ago called Flashdance. We just saw a little bit of it out there.
Oh, you got all the lines, Bob.
Well, watch a lot of movies, Chris.
Yeah. zone defense here from the Stars.
Yeah, it's a good move. I think it's a good move. Come out, start with a zone, get the Titans passing the ball around the perimeter like that, but you don't leave Pero Cameron too much alone out there. And Cartwright, somebody spiked the ball. 33. It was Daryl Cartwright. Sounded like hand on leather, but Pero was fouled.
We talked a little bit off the air, Bob, earlier about Pero Cameron. Now, at halftime, he had just 4 points, but hey, you can guarantee come down this next third and fourth quarter, Pero is going to feature not just in the scoring, but in other areas. Look for this guy to step up. I'm picking him to have a big second half.
Well, I think that's a pretty safe call, Chris. This guy is Mr. Steady. He's a gold standard, as I said earlier, in New Zealand basketball. He is the most respected player around the league, and he's got to be. He was voted into the all-tournament team in the 2002 World Championships. One of the best 5 players at that tournament. It's fantastic when you think about it.
Oh, it was a super effort, and he fully deserved to be there.
49-41, the lead extended by 2 to the Titans. Little fancy pass from Boucher, and looking underneath was Glenn Joe. The ball goes off the feet of Mike Homick. And so the Titans will inbound the ball.
That zone defense for the Stars seems to be just slowing the Titans down a little bit. They look so good when they're playing against a man-to-man. Probably a good move there by Kenny Stone.
Well, if Kenny Stone could do it, I think he'd like to let the air out of the basketball, too, so it couldn't be bounced. You've got to slow these Titans to a walk. When you do that and leave Pero Cameron alone, well, he punishes you.
On cue, the big fella drains another three-pointer for the Titans. And they are now 7 of 16, 44% for the Titans from the three-point arc. The Stars, on the other hand, are 1 of 6 for 17%, so they're not having a happy night from the three-point line, the Stars.
No, they're not, and they're having sort of nightmares at the offensive end to start the second half. They can't afford a bad or a shaky start here to the second half. Ball's kicked out to Frank, who puts up the 3. Doesn't go down, and Inosa, the only man on the floor with 3 fouls, pulls down the rebound, wraps Aaron Olson on the chin with his elbow a couple of times just to say, "G'day, mate."
He clears him out a little bit, clears a bit of room for himself.
Boucher kicks it out to Pero into the corner. Krishna back out. Look at the passing. Superb.
Inside, outside. They say in a zone you've got to have ball movement. You've got to have penetration, one with the ball and one with the man. And that time we saw the ball go zipped around the outside into the post, kicked out for Pero. That's 3 points.
And what a fantastic shooter he is. And on the floor he goes, trying to make the steal. Lindsay Tate comes piling into us. An attempt to get the ball. Aaron Olson just fighting underneath, gets the rebound, and finally gets the 2 points for the Stars. Good hustle again from Aaron Olson as we put our commentary position back together here.
Yeah.
Lindsay Tate just ran over and said, "Good afternoon, fellas." Boucher misses a shot, but coming in on the weak side is Inosa, who gets a putback off the Boucher miss.
55-40, 57-43, the Titans leading.
Well, so close at halftime, 6 points, and suddenly it's a 14-point spread. This is not what the Stars could afford to start the second half if they're going to have any show of toppling the Titans, Chris Tupu.
Yeah, Cameron, in this quarter alone, he has 2 three-pointers and a pair of free throws, so 8 points for him.
Well, you'd think this was scripted the way you were whispering to me about this is the Pero Cameron half, and then he lets loose with a couple of three-pointers. Are you two in some sort of cahoots?
I mean, like you said, it's a fair call that Cameron, I mean, he's a classy player, and he's going to step up in these sorts of situations.
So Daryl Cartwright, one of the most effective Stars players in the first half, on the line. They were not effective from the free throw line. The 4 of 10 in the first half. That's got to be converted. That's got to be pushed up to about 80% in the second half if they're going to stay close.
It's money for jam, those free throws, Bob.
Absolutely. The crowd a little bit more subdued. They think that game's in the bag here. Glenn Joe races it over halfway. The Titans want to run. Oh, boy. We got a blocking foul against Mike Homick. Hopi tried to go around him, ran into the wall that begins with an H called Homick. Here we go. Kirk Penny on the left, Phil Jones on the right. Two of our current Tall Blacks. Great to see them here, Chris Tupu.
Yeah, fantastic, and I hope Kirk goes really well. I've got full confidence in him making the NBA. He's going back to veterans camp sometime in September, October. And best of luck to him. He's a great player. He's really worked on his game, and I think we're going to see the second Kiwi in the NBA.
Oh, I think we will too. Somebody's going to pick him up. He's a real talent. And from the corner, Prem Krishna with another three. 18 points in the first half off threes. They've got 3 more in the second half. 2 from Pero Kammer, 1 from Krishna. How do you defend against it?
Well, it's pretty damn hard as we see Homick fire up a three-pointer. We're back to a 15-point lead for the Titans, 60-45.
Well, Brendan Pongia wandered past me just a few moments ago, just before the second half started, and he said, you know, there's a sense of impending doom here. The storm is on the horizon. He thinks the Titans could run away with it at any moment. And we got a timeout. It's going to be taken by the Stars. Kenny Stone has to talk things over with his team. They're down 60-45, and now we'll go down to Brendan Pongia for a few comments. Brendan, where are you?
We're sidelined here with the CEO for the New Zealand Breakers, Michael Redmond. Michael, I suppose you'd have some divided interest out there. You've got players in both sides of the coin. Who's your team you're cheering for today?
Well, I'm a Hamilton guy, so I guess we're with the Titans, but we've got 7 Breakers out there, 4 in Auckland and 3 with the Titans, so what's important is that they're all playing well and nobody gets injured.
Is this the first game you've been to this season?
No, we've been following the Titans all year.
Now, looking at obviously he's getting pretty busy with the Breakers coming up within the next month. Tell us a little bit about how things are going.
Well, obviously we're in countdown now to Game 1 on the 1st of October. We go on a pre-season tour in about 10 days. Our Tall Blacks are going away, so we'll take the rest of the squad over to Australia for 4 games. Then we're back, the Tall Blacks will join us, and then it's countdown.
Well, it's good. I was just talking to Phil Jones earlier. Phil's looking excited. He's getting refreshed and ready for the season. And, you know, it looks like it's going to be really interesting for the Breakers. First game up against Adelaide.
Yeah, Adelaide are tough. They won the competition a couple of years ago, but they've had a couple of player withdrawals in the last few weeks, so they'll be dangerous whatever happens. It's a historic game, and everyone wants to win.
Thank you, Michael, and enjoy the rest of the game.
Well, Chris, it's great to see. Basketball just doesn't stop anymore. The Tall Blacks are going to Turkey to play in a tournament. Then they'll come back, and they'll be going to Australia to play the Aussies in a 3-match Olympic qualifying series. And then we've got the New Zealand Breakers. Their season starts the 1st of October, and basketball just rolls on. Hey, well, this is our game.
It's definitely on the rise, Bob, and I've got to say that I don't think I can remember a situation where we've got that many big fixtures coming up, you know, and it's going to go right through the summer. Get ready, folks. Basketball's here for the summer.
Okay, Cameron makes 61-45. The Stars are in trouble after that timeout. Let's see what Kenny Stone has pulled out of the hat here. Olsen goes left, and he's going to be fouled. Mason Lepeau, I think, number 13, will pick up the foul. Halfway through the 3rd quarter, and the Stars can't let the Titans run away on them here. Inbounding the ball, Lindsay Tate. 24 seconds on the shot clock. Olsen almost loses the ball off the dribble. Tough defense from the Titans. Everywhere you go, there's somebody shadowing you. Inside, Homick with a good little left-hander.
Oh, fantastic finish there from Homick. Over the outstretched hand of Hopi. I think he even got a little piece of that, but it still went in.
Yeah, it's big bodies in there.
Yeah.
Homick won that little battle. Connell, who played so well in the first half, wants to take it inside, kicks it out to Lepeau. That always is a good move. The point guard drives and dishes it out.
Another of the Titans players steps up and nails a tray as we see Tate get fouled by Boucher on the way to the basket.
Well, maybe Lindsay Tate is going to fire up. He only had 4 points in the first half. And remember, the last 2 times these teams played, Tate finished with 31 points, most of them coming in a frantic late third period, early fourth period. Chris?
Well, he seems to like playing against these guys. In the game in Hamilton back in May, he top scored with 28. So in both those fixtures throughout the season, he's averaged over 28 points a game. So he likes playing against these guys.
Well, he better go berserk fairly quickly as Olsen is knocked to the floor after the 3-point miss. Farrell Cameron tries to get around Casey Frank. Titans playing just as hard as they need to here, and they're shooting like that. Around and around she goes. Does it drop? Well, you saw it.
That is a backbreaker from Connell. Pushes the lead out to the biggest it's been in the game, 20 points. 67-47 lead for the Titans. You just get the feeling, Bob, that they may just be stepping it up here.
Well, the clouds are gathering on the horizon for the Stars, I think. The Titans about ready to take control of the game. Every time I make some sort of prediction like that, it goes awry. The ball's knocked out of bounds by Farrell Cameron. Frank trying to get around him, falls to the floor. And defensive pressure continues from the Titans. That's something that just wears teams away. It's like water torture. Constant drip, drip, drip when you're trying to sleep.
Yeah, there's no rest, definitely, for the Stars.
Homick takes it up, puts it in, and knocked to the floor. No call comes.
Another tough basket from Mike Homick. But at the other end, Hopai gets open underneath and really took advantage of that little slip-up.
Well, that was a consequence of Homick being knocked to the floor at the other end, and while he was sitting on the floorboards talking to the ref about what, no foul, ref? Casey Frank, energetic rebound and 2 more points, 69-51, 17-point spread. It was 6 points at halftime. Strother kicks it out. Cameron doesn't go down. Knocks back outside. He picks it up. Connell, who's just made 3, throws air. Nothing but air.
Hopai there to pick it up.
It's a little bit of an embarrassment for a guy to throw an air ball. But look, it won't put Connell off. If he gets another attempt, he'll put it up like right there. And look at the body control up that shot.
He is going to town there. Great little drive from Nat Connell, the guy out of Christchurch.
What a talent.
Here. Not much room on that baseline.
Now he sneaks through the gap, threads the needle on the glass, falls to the floor. Look at Hopoi just before he goes out of bounds.
Yeah, like tightrope walkers there under the basket. Connell, bit of hang time. Finishes it off nicely.
Isn't that great camera work?
That's great work, fellas.
On the line, Nat Connell, young point guard who's got every move in the book plus a couple, except a free throw in that instance. Lepeau was called for charging. Homick was not going to let it get the shot up at both of his wrists. But Lepeau was charged with the charging foul before he got the shot up. So the Stars in big trouble here. 20 points in arrears now. Time ticking away. Their season looks like it might come to an end here in the first of 2 semifinal matches. Tate's got it. There's 3. Are they on the way back, Chris Tupu?
Could be. They have to shoot a few more of those, though.
Hopoi makes a move to the basket, puts it off the glass, and is spiked outside by Ricky Strother, who keeps it alive. That's good rebounding. Lepeau, Connell. Now watch Connell. Goes around Tate, who's called for reaching in. We'll have the second semifinal of St. Lawrence Saints going against the Manawatu Jets tomorrow on 2 Sport at 3 p.m.
And that's going to be a great game too. Connell will go to the line and shoot another 2, but what great work from the veteran Ricky Strother. A couple of times now, he hasn't been able to secure a rebound with both hands. What does he do? He knows there's his teammates at the top of the key, taps it back, That's great work and really smart play from the big guy.
Well, that's right. You want to keep the ball alive. If you can only get one hand to an offensive rebound, either tap it back on the glass and go for it again or knock it back outside to one of your offensive players. That time Connell collects, and it's a 20-point spread once again.
Connell now leads all scorers in the game with 15.
Well, the Stars just can't figure out the puzzle here. From the corner, Aaron Olson connects with a 3, and it's a 17-point spread. 2 minutes left in period 3, and then we've got 10 to play in the 4th.
Bob, I've got to say about Aaron Olsen's last shot there, such a quick release. You know, Ricky Struthers was just trying to get out there in time, but by the time Olsen caught it, he pretty much was launching at the same time as we see Struthers go down low and make a move.
Yep, that's a good release, good quick release. Number 10, Peril Cameron, fouls mounting up on him. I think that's, well, it's number 2. Enos on 4, Lepeau on 4 for the Stars. Cartwright 2, Homick 2. Those sort of figures, Chris, mean the Stars can get a little bit more robust defensively if they have to in the waning moments of the game here. On the line, number 43, Casey Frank, the last signing for the New Zealand Breakers. An American import. He's played a couple of years for the Stars, and Stars, what an athletic player he is.
He is super workhorse, old Casey Frank.
1 for 2 from the free throw line. Just isn't going to do it, however.
Both teams in the bonus. Any foul will result in a free throw, a couple of free throws.
Well, Connell attracted lots of attention as he went to the hoop, and a steps call goes against Earl Smith. Couple of key turnovers here might just give the Stars a chance to sneak in. Well, back into the game, Chris.
Yeah, they need to hit a few more shots here, maybe a couple of threes. Scoring-wise, Olsen has 15, Cartwright 13, and Frank 13.
Cassidy leaning into Hopoy. Good defense from David Hopoy. Forces the awkward shot. And at the other end, Earl Smith finishes it off.
Now, this guy has played all of his basketball here in Waikato. What a great little play there from Earl Smith, slashing to the basket. Gets a nice pass. Yeah, Connell just scoops him in a little pass, and Earl Smith, he plays a lot bigger than he is.
Yeah, well, Smith said, I'd like it served up right here as I pass you. Connell just put it on a platter. Smith gets the 2 points and the free throw, and the Titans relieve a little bit of the pressure. Spin dribble, but a charging offensive charge against Aaron Olsen. Crowd love it. Aaron Olsen doesn't like it. And the Stars are in big trouble here. 57 seconds left in the 3rd period. 76-57 the deficit.
Mason Lepeau with some pretty good defense there. Quick feet.
Oh, what a little pass from Hopoy. Nice block. But Earl Smith gets his rebound. The block shot and puts it up and scores the 2 points. And he's quick to get back on defense. The Titans want this game. They're not going to give it up, Chris.
No, you can see them just start that defense. Look, Earl Smith's there again.
Frank knocks the ball out of bounds. Jeff Green over there helping to referee. And the referee reverses the call on advice from Coach Jeff Green and gives the ball away over to the Titans.
23-point lead here.
Well, the Stars just can't really
21, sorry.
cut into this lead. 21 points. Hopoy, 3 seconds on the shot clock. Will Green gets it out. Lindsay Tate, foot race, goes past Connell. Nice move. He scores the shot. So at the end of 3 periods of play, it's a 19-point Titans lead over the Stars, 78-59. What a good interview. It's great to see Kirk Petty home. He's our 2nd ever NBA player. We hope. He's just waiting to sign a contract.
I'm glad you agree with me there, Bob. I reckon he's going to go to the NBA. Cameron from downtown can't connect on that one.
Well, Krishna misses the third, but look at the offensive rebounding power coming from the Titans. Boucher couldn't put up the shot, so he put the ball on the floor. Now we've got a jump ball. This is a rarity in basketball, a jump ball. 4 hands, 1 ball, 2 men jumping. And it's going to be Inosa versus Tate. No, well, Inosa's just playing little gamesmanship. He wants to get in there, being the biggest bloke on the floor.
Yeah. But hey, Glenn Joe, this should be a good jump ball. Lindsay Tate's pretty athletic, and so is Glenn Joe.
Well, everybody's put in an application here to be jumper, and now they're sorting out, interviewing who's going to jump. Well, finally, Tate goes against Glenn Joe. The Titans end up with the ball. Nice little pass inside. Perro Cameron, what a great, nifty little pass to hit Boucher, who bounces it on the line, throws up a left-handed hook. And the Stars, it's do or die now. 19-point deficit, 9:26 left in the ball game. If Lindsay Tate's got a secret up his sleeve, he's got to reveal right now.
Well, it's a pretty similar situation that we were in a couple of weeks ago in Auckland. And we know the Stars, well, they came back to within 4 points. So they can do it.
Well, Tate from a long way out. He's got the first 3 and the long march back, Chris.
That was almost a 4-pointer, but that sort of shooting is definitely going to help the Stars. They're going to need Tate to fire up in this quarter.
Now, there's an interesting concept. If you scored the number of points per meters away from the basket, that would be about 4.5 points, I reckon.
That was a huge one. Cameron, though, he replies with a little jump hook in the lane there. 80-62, the Titans lead.
Good passing underneath, and Stars can't finish it off, and Inosa is going to be fouled by Cassidy, Reese Cassidy. Energetic, aggressive, but that's what we were talking about just a moment ago. Fouls, no problems for any of the Stars players. No sense in holding them in reserve, so you've got to get in aggressive, get in the faces of the Titans players and try to force turnovers, put them off their game somehow, Chris, if they're going to get back into this ball game. 18 points down, 8.5 minutes to play. Krishna with the ball.
Looks like they're back to a zone defense. The Auckland Stars is marking an area as opposed to a man.
Inosa shuffles his feet, puts up the jumper, doesn't go down, and here's Tate on the break. 3 Titans players back there defending. That's just good transition defense from the Titans. Capacity crowd here at the ASB Stadium in Awamutu. Tate from the corner. 2 in a row.
Back-to-back trays for Lindsay. He now has 14 points for the Stars, 80-65.
Well, it's a 6-0 run to the Stars. Compliments of a couple of 3-pointers from Lindsay Tate. Perro, nice little fake, tries to get around Tate. Behind the back pass to Dylan Boucher. Wasn't that nifty? The big guy can do everything. Everything. He knows the game inside now.
Sorry, Bob, just Jeff Green there, pretty angry with his team, yelling out to them, yelling some... yeah, he knows this is crunch time. Semi-finals are the big games for Jeff. He talked about that before the game. This time of the game is crucial.
Well, you're right, Chris. That's the coach's job as well. And Titans, by virtue of good defense, force a turnover out of the Stars. That's turning the faucet off. If they can score the points here, Inosa backing in against Frank.
Great touch there from Yona.
Well, we'll call that a Mount Cook dropper. He dropped that from on high. It went in. He's a big, big man, 82-65. Looking inside, Cartwright just a little optimistic, throws the ball too high for even Casey Frank to get up and get.
Inosa now has 12 for the Titans. Connell and Cameron sitting on 15 for the Stars. Olsen has 15, Tate 14, Cartwright and Frank 13 apiece. Pretty good scoring there, a spread for the Stars.
Connell spots a gap, goes around Lindsay Tate, takes it inside and misses the shot, but he pulls a foul from the Stars, and I think it was tagged against Mike Homick.
We're not shooting.
Referee's having a bit of a discussion here with Jeff Green.
Jeff Green was claiming that the foul came while Nat Connell was shooting the foul. The referee saw it differently. Well, that's the reason why the referee wins. He's the referee. No, sir.
Oh, he's feeling it, Bob.
It's money basketball, Chris.
Great little fadeaway jumper, they call that one. He's fading away from the basket. Oh, Krishna with a steal. Oh, he lays it up.
And Olsen fouls him and turns to the referee and said, blow your whistle, mate.
Well, it looked like a bit of rugby advantage being played there.
Yep, Olsen did what he had to. He wanted to stop the easy 2 points by committing the foul. The referee just didn't call it. So as a result, Krishna gets the steal and the 2-pointer. That's a nail in the coffin.
We're back to a 21-point lead for the Titans.
Homick loses the ball on the dribble. Cameron sits on him. Inosa ends up with the ball. Look at the passing. Look at the teamwork. That is beautiful basketball.
Player of the match so far. Good fast break basketball. Great hustle at one end. Couple of nifty little passes and a reverse trademark layup. Finish it all off from Boucher.
Well, the Titans are so good when things are going well. The teamwork, the understanding, the unselfish play. It's just great to see. And so with 5:36 left in the ball game, the Stars have taken a timeout. The Titans lead 88-65. Here's some play in the paint.
Boucher there, just driving, baseline. Joe, couple of nifty little passes for him. There's the big fella, Yoni Inosa, finishing it off. And again, goes high with his little one-arm sort of scoop jumper. Well,
a happy pack of campers there. Perro, Cameron, Dylan Boucher, and Inosa sitting on the bench. 2-point shots, 56 at halftime. It's gone up to 60%.
Turn the zone, let's go short base.
So much experience.
Championship team will be disciplined from here on in. A champion team will be disciplined. Are we that team? We got to be disciplined offensively and defensively. Keep changing up the defense. Keep pushing the ball offensively and take it.
Well, here's the shot of the action man. Lindsay Tate with a 3. Aaron Olsen with a 3. Lindsay Tate with a 3. Lindsay Tate with a 3. Lindsay Tate with a 3. Was that the same piece of footage?
Great shooting there from Lindsay. Great shooting there. They're going to need some more in this next 5 minutes 30 if the Stars are going to overcome this hometown favourite, the Titans. 88-65 here.
Well, the Titans are in control now, Chris. 23-point lead. They're not going to give it up from here. Boucher takes it down Bloody Nose Lane. No one home, and he misses a shot. He can't believe it himself. Look at him.
It was that wide open. It just opened up like the Red Sea. But we heard Coach Jeff Green talk about, are you that championship team that is going to play disciplined basketball? And, you know, I think they are.
Well, it's a good call from Jeff Green. With 5 minutes left in the ball game, he doesn't want the team to drop its guard, get sloppy, lose concentration. Out front, Nant Connell commits a foul. And that's a feature of the Titans. They play tough, stick it to them defense 40 minutes every game, and it doesn't matter who's on the floor. That's the first word they learn when they walk in the Titans dressing shed: defense.
Yeah, and that time the defense, Prem Krishna just got caught behind a screen, and Olsen knocked down a big three-pointer again with a very quick release.
Somehow the Titans turn defense into psychological warfare. Boucher, one hand goes up with the ball on the glass. He's obscured by white shirts. The ball drops through. Dylan Boucher comes up with 2 more.
Yeah, I mean, Boucher, I don't know how he does those shots when he's in there. He's pretty tall, but he's not as tall as some of those other guys in the paint there, but he just seems to find a way to do those little nifty scoop moves and finish it off in the clutch.
Well, somebody was talking to me once about if they had a statistic saying how many times does a player's hands touch the basketball during a game, Boucher would be way out in front, defensively, offensively. If you look at the number of times his hand touches the ball, it's an incredible count. Most of the time he's creating mayhem. Defensive mayhem. Connell backing in. Pulls up, shoots a little jumper, had to, shot clock running down. Olsen gives it off to Casey Frank and a two-handed jam. Too little, too late. Fat Lady's already singing. 20-point lead to the Titans. 3:45 left to play in the first of two semifinals. Be with us tomorrow afternoon right here on 2 Sport at 3 p.m. The second semifinal between the Saints and the Jets. Tips off then.
Holpai with a nice little tip-in. He now has double figures. He has 10 points for the game. 92-70 out to a 22-point lead. And, well, the Titans, whoever comes up against... I'm thinking they're going to win this game, Bob, but whoever comes up against them in the final, I don't know, they're going to have to play pretty damn good to beat these guys.
Well, they're going to have a little better bench, I think, than the Stars have. You can't go with 5 or 6 players the length, 40 minutes in a game and expect to be high energy as you need to be against the Titans' defensive pressure. And what I was saying, the pressure is as much psychological as it is physical. Aaron Olsen just threw 3 points right over Glenn Joe's head.
Unconscious. Aaron Olsen leads all scorers now with 21 for the game.
Well, he's done everything he could. A nice little pass in from Ricky Strother gets Peril Cameron 2 easy points. That's the understanding and teamwork from the Titans that's made them champions.
2 of the best big men in the game for New Zealand, I think, anyway. Ricky Struthers and Peril Cameron played a lot together in Auckland, reunited here in the Waikato, and, a few championships later, they're still going.
Strother wants 2 points, kicks it out to David Hopoi from the corner. He's got it. Nothing but gold.
He'll keep taking that jumper. Good on you, Dave. 96-73 now.
Well, the Stars know their season is over. They've struggled 5 times against the Titans and lost every time. 96-73, 2:12 left in this first of 2 semifinal matches. Connell with the 3, doesn't go down. Glenn Joe gets the rebound, a pushing foul. It's going to be called against Cartwright, I think it is. You'll see Aaron Olsen strolling down to the end of the court to inbounds the ball. The game is all but over. 23-point lead. The Titans have just put a headlock on the Stars. Never gave up. Just kept applying the pressure. There were a couple of runs made by the Stars, but in the end, the Titans are just too good. Too much firepower. Olsen from the 3-point line. He's got 24 points for the game. What a good game he's played, Chris.
Yeah, he's cooking right now, Bob. He is, any open look, he's letting it go. Oh, beautiful little drive there from Al Smith. But watch out for Olsen. He's the hot man for the Stars. Glenn Joe's going to have to get a hand up on him.
Olsen finally misses. Glenn Joe had a hand in his face. The Titans pick up the ball. 1:29 left in the game. It's all Titans.
Yeah, the party's just starting. Well, in Awamutu, they've got another game next week, though, the Titans, and they'll just regroup. Home court advantage.
Well, they can relax now. They can watch the second semifinal to be played tomorrow afternoon to see who's going to oppose them in the final. Will it be the Saints or will it be the Jets? That'll be a great game, Chris.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that game tomorrow. Great weekend of basketball.
Will Green replacing Casey Frank in the Stars lineup. Good shot of the Titans bench. Happy players, but professional players, they know there's still one game to win. Remember, before the game, Peril Cameron said, you've only got one chance going into semifinals. Well, they've kept their chances alive here, and David Hopoi, the captain for today's game, he looks pretty composed. Cartwright on the line for the Stars. Tookie Linden rebounding for the Titans into the ball game. Earl Smith in the lane, puts it up, doesn't go down, and here's a foot race. We got Aaron Olson feeding it out. Lindsay Tate pulls up from the three-point line, doesn't go down. Will Green protects the ball. He's hammered by Earl Smith, and Will Green is on the line to shoot 2 free throws.
Now, Will Green's one of these younger players that Auckland have, and, you know, they look like they could be a pretty good team in the future. This little group of young players, people like Tate, Green, you know, Cartwright and Hommett, they're all pretty young players, and if they were able to stay together, I think they're going to be a very good team in the future, Bob.
Well, that's right, Chris, and if they could pick up 1 or 2 other players who could walk on and make an impact while some of the young players are developing, they need options down as low as 8 and 9 on the bench, and they just don't have that right now. Substitutions on for the Stars. Kenny Stone giving his team, the whole team, a run. Clark, number 8. Number 20, Bill, comes in to the game for the Stars. Stephen Bill. Joshua Clark, marked by Connell, who makes the steal, goes the length of the court, trying to get a nice little layup. He thought he was fouled. A bit of a Hollywood, doesn't work, and so the ball goes inbounds to the Stars. Double team at halfway, and Glenn Joe makes a steal. Forces the jump ball. That's tough. Guys come into the game and immediately...
It's like putting some meat out in front of some lions, feeding time at the zoo, you know? They put the young fella Joshua Clark on. All of a sudden, he gets the ball, and the Titans guards it all over him and pick up almost a couple of steals. Put a baptism of fire for Joshua Clark there.
Very colorful analogy there. The image is pretty graphic. It's like pointer shark feeding time. Well, the Stars have given it away. They know the best team is winning, has won, in fact, 5 times this year, the 5 times these teams have met. Titans 98, Stars 77. Jeff Green has got to be happy with this. The team didn't drop its composure, didn't lose its concentration in the last 5 minutes. Stephen Bill puts the shot up. The shot clock goes off, so the Titans inbound the ball once more. 8 seconds. Disappointed coach Kenny Stone has to go back to the drawing board for another season, off-season, trying to figure out what he has to do, who he has to recruit to become more competitive next year.
Uh-oh, here's Earl Smith. No, can't get that one to go. The Titans, 22-point victory.
Well, there you see him, the victorious coach of the Waikato Titans, Jeff Green. He was pretty confident before the game. Things went pretty much according to plan, and Kenny Stone, the losing coach, once again, in a Titans-Stars matchup. The final score, the Titans, 98. 21-point difference over the Stars, 77. Players congratulating one another, and right away the Titans will start thinking about next weekend and who they're going to oppose in the finals. Let's go down to Brendan Pongio, who's talking with the captain of the Titans, David Hopoy.
Dave, great game, another final. How'd it feel out there?
A bit of relief out there. I mean, full credit to Auckland, came out, played with a lot of heart, and we're expecting that, but as you can see, we're really happy that we won, so yeah, we're proud of our win. So
hey, a little bit different from last year. You're not going to Nelson, mate. You're going back home. How's it going to feel playing at Mystery Creek?
It's going to be great. It's always good to play home, too, especially at Mystery Creek. It's a big crowd there, so we'll be pumped. We'll be ready.
Hey, you started the game a little bit slow. Started to get into your swing in the last quarter before you started making the shots. What did Coach say to you at halftime?
Well, I can't really say what he said in the change rooms, but he was pretty angry with letting the Stars back into the game, and he told us, and one of the first priorities to come out tonight in the second half was to stop Auckland's run, and I think we did a good job with it.
Hey, congratulations, Dave, and good luck next week for your three-peat.
Cheers, Paul.
Scenes sounds of jubilation from the Titans, winners here in a 98-77 matchup with the Stars. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more interviews and statistics in a moment. The Stars, Aaron Olson, the complete player for them tonight, had 4 assists. Frank had 4. Boucher once again leading the assists count for the Titans with 5. And if we look at the rebounds, here's a massive differential. 51 rebounds for the Titans versus total rebounds 28 for the Stars. They just couldn't match it inside, no matter how energetic Casey Frank was with 8 rebounds. Looking down at Brendan courtside with Dylan Boucher.
Well, Dill, congratulations. Another final. How was the game out there today?
It was pretty physical. I mean, we knew the Stars were going to come and give it all, and I think they played really well. But, you know, our guys far out. They shot the ball well, and I think the Titans, you know, that's one of the better games we've had this year.
Your bench, Dylan. Tell us a little bit about the bench and, I mean, how important they are to the team.
Oh, I can't say enough about them. They went and did the job again tonight. Nat Connell stepped up, you know. The bench is where it's at, and that's, you know, that's why we've been so successful this year. And if the bench play well, our team plays well. And I think if we can get the production out of our bench next weekend, then, yeah, we'll go all the way.
Now, the first couple of quarters just didn't look like you were shooting the ball that well. You're a little bit, I mean, they broke your press a few times. Tell us about, you know, how you adjusted for the second half.
Yeah, you know, Lindsay's a great point guard, and he really broke our press a lot, and he has all year every time we've played them. And so we had made a few adjustments and probably called our press off earlier than what we normally would, so we could actually get some stops out there. And we went just to a straight man defense, and our guys really played well in a man defense.
Looking at next week's games, obviously the Wellington Palmerston North game tomorrow. What are your thoughts on the Wellington Palmy game tomorrow? Who do you think is going to win?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Wellington have beaten them twice this year by 20 or more points, so you know it's hard to pick Palmy, but Palmy has got a deep bench as well. So you know, I think Palmy, if they can shoot the ball like we did tonight, then you know they've got a chance of winning it.
Well, speaking about Palmy, the last time you played Palmy at home, they actually give you a good old hiding. So you'll probably be hoping that Wellington win tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely want to have another go against Palmy, because when we played them, yeah, we lost by 24 points. And, you know, although guys like Pero Cameron didn't play it, you know, it's still a hiding, you know, and it's something we want to make up for. So, yeah, we're really hoping Palmy go through so we get a chance to get a bit of revenge on them.
Last year, I mean, you got to play in Nelson. This year, you get to go at home. How important is it playing at home?
Oh, I mean, just look at the crowd tonight. Yeah, today, you know, the Awamutu crowd came out, and a lot of the fans that have been supporting us all year here. Now we go to Mystery Creek. It just means we have a few more thousand fans to fit in there. And, you know, the Waikato fans are unbelievable. They've been supporting us all year. And then there's been some cold nights where they've come out and supported us. So I hope they can come out on Sunday and support us as well.
Well, congratulations, Dylan. Congratulations on your rise for the three-peat next week.
Yeah, definitely be pushing for that three-peat. Cheers, Brandon.
Cheers.
Well, we'll go to an action montage here, and you pick it. Is it a bird? Is it a plane? Nope. This is Pero Cameron, the most complete professional basketball player in New Zealand. A couple of threes. Well, another 3. This guy does it all. Inside, nice little hook shot. Devastating player and such a great passer as well. Pero Cameron, you are our action man.